Good morning, Book Talk. I know I haven't talked about books in 2 weeks, but I'm busy. This is my busiest time of the year. And so sometimes trying to fit in book time in December, the end of November and December is just hard. But I managed to. And I read this. Like everyone else on this app, this is a 5-star reading for me. Unlike everyone else on this app, I'm not as obsessed with the angry, vengeful mommy. I don't know about you, but the review I see on Shadow of the Gods, like the series, the most is about angry, vengeful mommy. But there are other characters that you are following. You're actually following 3 characters around. Following Orca, she is the angry, vengeful mommy. Her husband is murdered and her son is stolen and kidnapped and taken away, and she is on the hunt to go find them. You're following around a girl named Elvar, who is part of a warrior band, and she's building her warrior reputation, and she's building it pretty good. And there's something about her that is special because she has an older, more time-wizened warrior that follows her around like a puppy. That is not her father. And then you're following around a guy named Varg, and he was a thrall, and he manages to get out of being a slave, and is also on a journey about family. His sister was murdered, and he is looking for either a witch or a Valderman who can do a spell so he can see her last moments, because he wants to know who killed her. And in order to get to that, he ends up having to he joins a band of warriors to do so. The Bloodsword is what they're called. Bloodsword is what they're called. Sorry. The other group is called Battlegrim. And he has no idea that he could be this kind of warrior. When he was a thrall, he was used in pits and he did lots of, hand-to-hand fighting, but he'd never used a weapon at all. Doesn't understand the warrior ways. And I actually found myself leaning more towards his storyline. Not that I don't like orcas, but you kind of know from the beginning by the way that she thinks and talks that she's going to be badass. And she is. But the other thing that I really like about this is that a lot of the words are written in Norse. So, the way that they pronounce letters is not the same way that we do. And so you kind of are having to figure out what you think it is, because he doesn't always give a translation when they're doing spells or they're talking. And that's interesting to me. I like that. It makes it feel authentic. Also, the other thing that is interesting in here is clearly there is a dragon, which you don't see until the end. But we do talk about the old gods a lot. And their progeny are people who have become what we would call berserkers. And they have the ability to change in small ways and have more power too. A bear, not a full bear, but we get the teeth and the speed and the power. Not a full wolf, teeth, speed, and power. Rata is a rat, and they have cunning and are, they tend to, be, shady and turn people in, and people of the snake. And there's a society called People of the Dragon that is supposed to be dead. And that they're not there anymore. I really liked this book. I have got the other one. I read the first 3 pages yesterday. I know, 3 whopping pages, but I was busy, and that's how it's going to work. I'd like to try to get a little reading in this morning, and I might, but I have a lot of stuff I have to do today also, and of course I'm working. But I have a 3-day weekend, and although there will be lots of baking involved, because I have to bake, I'm trying to bake some of my stuff for Christmas on Wednesday this weekend, so that I don't have to do it all next week. At the same time, I'm going to try to fit some book time in, and I'm really liking this. Clearly, I'm going to have to go to Barnes & Noble and get the 3rd book. I bought these in February last year, the first and the 2nd book, but I have not touched them because I knew the 3rd book was coming out this year, and I was waiting for it to come out before I went there because I wanted to have the ability to have them fresh in my mind. But definitely great. I hope you guys have read this.